Labia.
Labia.
Labia. Hey, oops.
Oh no.
Oh no, all labia.
Oops, all labias.
Yeah.
Yep. The Captain Crunch.
It's a great start to our return to Spire. I mean, why wouldn't we start this way, honestly? Hi, my name is Elise. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am your GM tonight once again, having wrested the position away from Tyler. It was a epic battle that did ultimately result in my victory, so I'm back in the GM chair for the night. But just to kind of circle around to just one more time, thank you so much, Tyler, for GMing Dragon Queen Cradle. That was so much fun, and we super appreciate you doing that. And also, congratulations on just writing an awesome module and all that jazz. So, yes, hello everybody. We're going to do our stuff that we do, which includes telling you about ways you can hang out with us at Helpful Goat. Which, if you hit !Discord in the chat, in the Twitch chat, then you can get information about our Discord and hang out with us on Discord. We're a pretty cool community. And you can also watch our other games, Helpful Goat's main games. We've got, tomorrow, Fates of Rin, right? Are we playing?
That's us.
Hey,
Sure.
Tier Moon Trials tomorrow, which I'm pumped about because I play in that. I just have lost track of time because it's 2021 and that's what we do. Yeah, you can check that out tomorrow at 7. Next week, Saltmarsh is off next week.
Probably still haven't quite figured it out.
Okay, and then Spire on Thursday. Yep, Spire on Thursday, and then Fates of Rin on Friday. Spire is at 6:30 Mountain Time, and Fates of Rin will be at 7 p.m.
Nope,
Mountain Time.
aren't we doing tier 2 weeks in a row?
Tier 2
Yeah,
weeks
I
in a
thought
row.
I thought we were doing
God, I'm
tier
so
2.
excited. As you can tell, I pay top-notch attention to the schedule. Legitimately, it's exciting that we'll be playing tier 2 weeks in a row because I love that game. Yes, thank you, Sam and Rachel, for keeping my brain.
Mostly Rachel.
Mostly Rachel.
That's just because Rachel jumps in all the time, like, no, here's the correct information.
But thank you for having the correct
but then
information.
also possibly Saturday night, possibly there's going to be a watch party of a musical that I've been producing
Discord.
for a whole gosh dang year.
Ooh, cool. That sounds exciting.
Yeah,
Let's go.
so 9 p.m. Eastern time. Let's go.
In the Discord.
In the Discord, yeah.
In the Discord.
In the Discord.
Awesome. Okay, so those are some things you can check out with us scheduling wise that I clearly did not read Galway's scheduling post before I tried to do this intro. Thanks, Galway. You're way more on top of it than I am. Let's see. Besides that, you can also hit !Donate in the chat to find out about a cool cause that we're highlighting. Causes near and dear to our heart, I believe. We are currently highlighting
Haiti.
It's supporting Haiti.
Supporting Haiti and the relief efforts there after both the earthquake and the tropical storm, or whatever class of storm that was that hit. As we all know, oh God, that's a whole lot going on. And I do believe also that I have seen some pretty strong callouts of not wanting donations to go to the Red Cross. Has anyone else seen this? So maybe check out where you donate to. I think Hope for Haiti is a great place to start, which is what you will get if you put in !Donate. So if you are interested in donating, the last that I read was just a thing from Haitians saying that donation to the Red Cross for support was not as helpful as some of these other places where you can donate. So just something to keep in mind if that is something that you have the capacity in some way to do. We would, just as humans living through crazy times, it means a lot to everybody if you can find a way to donate.
The short and quick explanation of that is that the Red Cross doesn't offer or create sustainable long-term aid. So
Oh.
it's not preferable to other places that are there to like help build infrastructure and support past the immediate future.
Thank you, Ava. Super, super helpful to have kind of an explanation for that. I really appreciate it. Um, you can also check out our merch. We are highlighting our very own Chelsea's art. So, very cool Mikek art piece, I believe. I love it. I intend to buy something from it because it's beautiful and lovely. And you can use exclamation point merch with an M as in Mary. What do you use for that? Not Nurch, Joel, to get to the link for our merch and find out more about that because,
And 100% of the proceeds go to the artist for
hey,
these
100%
special
of the
things.
proceeds go to the artist. Hey, it's so cool. Which, we love to highlight said artist who is also our amazing poem writer. So we will read the poem soon. Don't let me forget. But first, players, why don't we do a little introduction? I will pass things over to Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. And I play Alvy in The Bees, and our pronouns are also she, her, hers. And I'm gonna go down to Tyler.
Hi, y'all. I'm Tyler. I play Anders and Company. The collective of us go by he, him, his. And I am going to kick it to Sarah.
I am Sarah. I play Din, and we have the pronouns she, her, hers. I didn't do this. Hey, Sam.
Hello, I am Etik Musa, and I am played by Sam. And we use he, him, his pronouns. And I'm going to pass it up to Chu.
Hello, I am Chu. I play Ava. We both use she, her pronouns, and I will pass it back to Elisa Dreamy.
Thank you. The dog is here, but of course she's completely out of view. You can't even see her butt. But she's down here and she's making noises at me. So maybe you will also get to hear a little bit of
And what
Rika's.
are Rika's pronouns?
Rika's pronouns are she, her, hers, or they, them, because dogs don't understand gender. And you can honestly use whatever pronouns you want for her and it won't bother me. And yes, okay. Yeah, let's do Chelsea's poem. Who would like to read Chelsea's poem?
Me. It's a double poem this time. Heck.
Double poem. What does it
All right,
mean?
everybody strap in for this.
Strap on for this?
Both work. Oracle prediction time here in the world of Spire. The situation will be delightfully chaotic and probably include stress and encounters most dire. Edic will stress, Din will suspect, Alvi has many more bees and ghosts to collect. Chu will sparkle in excess, Anders will win the most personalities award. All this and more as goals and resolutions you move toward. Looking forward to the laughs and guaranteed mayhem about to ensue. Much love, Spire crew. I can see and hear you.
Yay! Oh my gosh.
Nice.
A wonderful
I like the
poem.
idea of those superlative awards you get in high school, and one of them is just most personalities.
Anders at the time was like, "What the hell does that mean?" And now
Right.
we're here. You know.
It's not
God, they were
like-
right.
notably someone else got best personality and you got most personalities.
Yeah. It's quantity over quality, you know.
Mhm,
Right,
mhm.
right.
Okay. Is there any other pre-stream things besides just like doing our recap and other like game stuff that we need to do? Like other non-game related things?
I think
We usually do snack pack, but
Anybody
I don't
got a
have-
snack on hand?
Today's stream is brought to you by Twinnings, Earl Grey.
There we go.
An Aldi brand seltzer.
Spicy brown mustard. Had a craving. Deal with it.
strawberry lemonade.
Sometimes you just want a puddle of spicy brown mustard.
Sometimes that's what you need. All right, well, you heard it here. All of those are sponsors, and we're getting so much money from them. You wouldn't believe it's paying all of our salaries. Everyone, quit your jobs, and, because spicy brown mustard, just dropped six
Damn.
million into our bank accounts.
They're really
There you go.
generous.
They're really generous.
Also, before Debbie hops in and corrects us all later tomorrow, I'm pretty sure it's Twinings.
Okay, I thought it was. I actually thought it was Twinings, but then Twinnings came out of my
Because
mouth.
British people have to sound, more fancy like that, and it sounds more British.
I
if you
mean,
say
I'm a
Twinings.
twin. Does that work?
I
Like,
think that does work.
You're a
can we
twine,
You're
still?
twinning.
Okay. So Tyler is twinning and Sam is twining.
There we
and
go.
I no. Sam is Twinny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it, folks.
just-
All right, we're done. Bye.
If
All
y'all
right.
haven't looked at Paris Hilton's cooking show, she's Sliven, so
Did hear about this.
it's incredible, and I will put a link somewhere, and you have to check it out. By law.
Okay, well, players, I'm going to get your stress levels, and then we'll do a recap. So, if you feel like telling us your stress levels, in real life, you're always welcome to, but stress is a mechanic of the game, so I'm asking for your total stress in game currently. Alvi,
0.
Chew,
0, and in real life, I think I've died.
just maximum, just top,
It's
over the
done.
top. Anders,
6
6.
of 4 in blood and 2 in mind.
Mm-hmm. Din
1.
and Etik.
Quattro, all in mind.
Excellent. Okay, my notes are correct. What a concept. Okay, players, what happened last time?
Oh wait,
On
can
Spire?
we do our thingamajig?
Don't we usually do it after the recap? So
Oh
you have
yeah,
it-
we do. Yeah, I just was really prepped.
You're just
this
ready.
time.
You're like, I know what I want.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
I have notes, but I did not mark when last session started. So I don't know where to actually
It was
begin.
after the Blood Witch sex stuff.
It's like 2 episodes ago at this point, wasn't it?
Yeah, Blood Witch sex stuff was the episode before last.
Okay, right.
So after Blood Witch diaphragms, which I'm sure you have in your note.
Yeah, I do. I have Chu asks for a Blood Witch condom.
There we go. So yeah, it's after
Um,
that. I'm pretty sure.
So I wrote that Molly Duval has disappeared, which we already kind of knew. We learned that Saren, their ancestral drow ability is that, much like me, they cannot be surprised or ambushed. After I have done my tea ceremony. I spent some time trying to steal something from a bunch of basically like acolytes, and I wanted something that would perhaps help make beseeching demons easier, less risky, or more powerful. And I was successful in pilfering a pendant that I don't know what it does exactly yet. I also wrote that Bertold is back, so Anders turned into Bertold, and Bertold went looking for a person in charge at the festival. And Bertold ended up finding a person who had a very interesting metal appendage, and a tattoo sleeve. And ultimately, it seemed like I wrote fight fire with many asterisks, but I don't remember the context for that.
The
That's
demon
basi-
weapons.
Right,
Oh
right,
yeah,
right.
the crossbow.
Right. And so everyone got, or a lot of us got, anti-demon bolts and such, and Edic outright refused them. because he's somewhat familiar with anti-demon technology. And yeah, so that's basically everything I have. I'm sure y'all remember more, but yeah.
Are you sure?
I don't remember. I think he glossed over the Blood Witch condom, but I told her that I would meet her after her shift, and then I just left because things went poorly. But I did find out that the blood that I have, which I didn't write down in my inventory for some reason, but some of the blood that I have in a vial is rare blood that would be like an enticing gift to a blood witch. So I don't know if maybe that's on the table as something that can get us through the door with her. And I also have no idea where that blood came from. And maybe I think I maybe got it from looting what's their faces hovel after they got mind exploded and then dissolved by a cat or something. So that's all I remember.
Yes. And then at the end of the session, we did a group check to see how the trip back to Spire would go through the heart. And I believe everybody did bad. Everyone did real bad. I think Alvy rolled the highest with like a 4.
5.
5. Yes. And Anders got a sword. Did we cover the fact that Anders got a sword?
I did not write that down.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Winter Sword ? Is what I have it written down as.
That's right.
Because Bertold was given it, and Bertold maybe thinks it could be, but that's probably more Andrew's department.
Yes.
Also, like, I don't have my pistol anymore, and I gave my blistering dagger for collateral as well as like something else to get an anti-demon something that I didn't write down. I do have some anti-demon something.
Yeah, the
I think it's the bolts, right? Because that's what I ended up getting for everyone, I think.
I don't
And-
think I got anything anti-demon.
I gave you a anti-demon. Well, it was just a normal crossbow.
I got a
And-
demon dagger,
Gave
20
me
bolts, and a
crossbow?
demon.
Oh no, I got a demon hunting dagger. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I
That's
see
what it was.
in my. I literally see it in my equipment, so I did write it down.
Yeah, I wrote down demon dagger, 20 demon bolts, special crossbow. And I think I was going to either give the demon dagger or the crossbow to Din. I think if you put stuff down for collateral, it sounds like maybe you got something different.
I just don't know why I didn't write it down. Because it was like a trade for something. Like I have all of the like details about like what happened, but I don't have the thing that I got.
It was a demon slaying goat.
there were guns. There were. I think you.
Oh, it may have been a gun.
I want to say it was a gun because I no longer have my gun.
Yes, you traded your gun for their gun because the bullets
Okay.
that he made fit his gun specifically. So
Okay, that's
the
what
gun
I thought, but I
yes.
didn't want to.
So the gun that you gave him, he can adjust or make new bullets for, but he could not simply sell you bullets that would fit your gun. So you
Right.
traded the gun for his gun and then got the bullets.
How many bullets do you have?
There was also a promise made that you would return and help him ride a sky whale.
Oh yeah, to death. For the
Yes,
grace. Yeah.
he's convinced that this will kill him.
Yep.
And then he also wants proper burial.
Yep. I made the follow-up deal.
Yes,
so
the
that was-
follow-up
yep.
deal. Tyler, can you remind me what page on the source book the Winterblade? Do you have that marked somewhere or like
The Winterblade, I think, is in Strata.
Is it in Strata? I was just looking through Strata and I couldn't find it. So
Yeah, it's in the High Society gear.
okay.
Strata's the one that has it broken down by that. It's gonna be in there.
Okay, yeah, I'll find it then. Oh yeah,
Got it.
I got it. 37. We did it.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yes. So let's jump into the game finally, now that it's 7 o'clock. But hey, we had a lot to get through in terms of catching up and stuff because it's been a minute since we played. So let's get into the game. So players,
Attic and I gotta choose our stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, go ahead and choose your stuff.
I'll
You
just
go.
go ahead and mention mine. So I was considering I think it would be a resist. And the knack specifically would be for when I'm trying to protect something or someone.
Okay.
My
With
thought.
resist, trying to protect someone else, because resist is like you
Or
resisting effects happening to you.
okay, well then
That could be maybe
maybe it would be
fight or
fight.
mhm,
Okay,
fight
so
with
fight.
when you are protecting somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was also thinking resist, just for the travel from the heart to the spire. If there's something wonky that happens, if I can have a thing against resisting it, like just the act of traveling, since it was weird last time on the way down, wasn't it? Or am I just misremembering?
There were things happening on the way down. I might kind of over the table just because it's more fun if it's that, just to let you know, I am going to time skip us forward a little, so it may
Right.
actually not be the best choice to like have it tied to the travel through the spire.
Well, fuck. Um,
Well, you're thinking about that. I did have a super quick thing that I wanted to mention to Elise.
Yeah.
Um, Edic slash Byron are now in possession of like 3 pieces of probably magical things that we haven't really pinned down what their like perks are.
Right.
Um, I wasn't sure if you had ideas on that or if you wanted me to think of things or
So we're
uh,
talking about the armor that needs to be repaired.
so there's the armor that Byron is working on. There is the pendant that I got, and then there is the nose ring that I traded for in the shop.
Okay. The nose ring is going to have something already attached to it. The pendant, remind me, you got that
The
from,
pendant is what I stole from the acolytes.
yes, the pendant is what you stole from the acolytes. And you stole that specifically looking for something that would do,
The,
remind
yeah, I
me.
stole that specific looking for something that would be like an amplifier or a conduit, something that would make beseeching using demonic
Okay.
energies easier or safer.
Okay. Good. Let me I think that one I'm also going to hang on to. And then with the armor, since you have to repair that, let's play that one out as kind of like when the armor gets repaired, as kind of like a there might be options depending on how well kind of Edic and Byron go through um the
Yeah,
process of repair and enchantment.
great.
Okay. Rachel.
I just have no idea what's going to happen this session because we're going to get back, and then it's like, are we going after this thing or this thing or maybe compel to
Okay.
to try and compel Saren to tell me everything they know
Okay.
or to stay with me and tell me things. I'm
Okay.
gonna bug them.
Compelled to get information from people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, if it doesn't have to be specific to Saren, then sure.
No, the knack can be like it's within compel a skill that matches compel. So
Cool.
to get information from people. Okay.
Got it.
Anything else? Shall we get started? Okay. Yeah, so players, oh, we're gonna have music and everything, kids. How often do I do that? Almost never. You
Oh, anxiety, great.
everybody feels like this is fine. You are traveling through the heart, and you have an expert guide with you. And as you are, you actually, nothing happens on your travel in particular. There's no cultists that attack. There's nothing. Tyler's face when I said that, just like, it's like, is this worse? There's no cultists that attack. There's no like this, the heart doesn't, the corridors don't open up and eat you. And as you get to the Vermissian again, down in Derelictus, and you start navigating your way through, Saren leads you through the their kind of special tunnels that get you through places faster, and you come out into Perch. And as you emerge into Perch, it's daytime. The boundary fires are burning. The smoke from the boundary fires is just billowing out over Perch. All of Perch is it's always covered by the fires. This is the smoke from the fires. This is the intention of them, because, it protects you all from the sun. But this time, something seems different. And as you kind of come out, you see into the streets, things feel wrong. Things feel worse than they did when you left. And as you kind of make your way into the streets, for the amount of time that you spent in the heart, the amount of damage that has been done to the walkways of Perch, attached by ropes and kind of scaffolding to the gutter, just seems too much. And there are people hiding. There are barricades built in some of the walkways. And as you're kind of walking your way around these, you see groups of the Bound, the mercenary kind of peacekeeping group that... Rachel, is everything all right?
There's a little tiny bunny rabbit hiding from the thunderstorm on my deck.
Oh.
It's like this big. Sorry, I was like, oh. It just was really cute, and I was really distracted, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was just like, something's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you kind of come out into this kind of scene, and like the Bound, who are normally kind of night, the peacekeepers of the night of Perch, they are much less active during the day. They're out in force, and they see your group, and they don't stop you, but you see them kind of looking you over and standing in groups together, and like making sure that, they kind of give you a close look to make sure that you're not someone that they don't want passing. And they let you go through. And as you do this, you hear scraps of their conversation floating about their last skirmish with the city guard. And you think, skirmish with the city guard? Like, last time we were here, there wasn't open skirmishes happening in the streets. There was some tension maybe between the Bound and the city guard, but how could that have developed that fast? And as you keep going, you see plastered on the walls, as you're passing along, papers with handwritten lists, updated with dates of people who are missing. People have started going missing throughout Perch, and these lists on the walls now, people are coming by to add a new name every now and then, and a new date of when the person went missing. And you see one kind of older drow man with his face wrapped against the skin, and you can see him approaching the list to add another name to the list and the date. And you get a good look at the date, and it is a solid week after you left for the heart. You were not in the heart for what you thought was a week, and this is going to be the fallout of the time of the bad rolls on your way back. Was that time is not stable in the heart, and you all must have hit a very strange fluctuation of it. And as you're coming back out into Perch, things are just bad right now. You left with a situation that was not great, and you came back to a situation that is just completely out of control. It seems like there are legitimately open skirmishes. Let's turn this down. Open skirmishes, what you're piecing together, And you hear, people talking as you're kind of making your way back to your various homes, or if you want to go to kind of your meeting place, you might stop a few people and ask for like an update of like things that are going on. And what you hear over and over is that the Drek situation has just gotten out of control, and you hear that the bound and the guards, like, maybe it's finally time to get the guards out of here, because it's not like they're doing anything to keep our children safe from either the drugs or whoever is snatching them off the streets. And you find out from someone who is just passing by with a cart of stuff to go to one of the drow kind of like graveyards of the gods, that the swan struck again while you were gone. You get the copy of the newspaper. It's nobody you know, but the swan has struck again in your absence. And you also hear people blaming someone, a name that you are now familiar with, but have not heard prior to this. And you hear again and again, people are talking about Molly Duval, and they're playing all of this at her feet. You don't get a clear sense of why, because when you left, nobody was talking about Molly Duval. But people, maybe they want someone to blame, maybe something happened that you're not getting the whole story. But people are talking about the Blood Witch, Molly Duval, again, and laying a lot of this worsening development at her feet, metaphorically.
And we've found out that Molly Duval is at odds with the person who's running the swan stuff, right?
Uwasha.
Like there.
Correct.
And that Molly Duval has been like laying low for the last 2 or 3 years, right?
Yes, for the most part, not seen much, although Perch was a place where she had been known to be seen from time to time. Now, Molly Duval has not necessarily been around very much that you know of.
I think before we all split up to go places, because I assume we're all going to go like check on people, maybe, I don't know. She was going to tell the group, like, I think, oh my God, what did Chu sound like? She didn't even have an accent, did she?
No, she just kind of talked like in a light, demure kind of tone.
She's going to turn to the group and be like, well, I think it's time that Chu got to sit down with the infamous Molly Duval. I need to go speak to my manager and assemble the sharks. Perhaps we can meet tomorrow or whenever to get this going, tonight, who knows?
Do we see our names on any of the lists of missing people?
Nobody cares about us enough to write our names down.
Maybe.
Well, let's see. That's a
All
good
my
question.
friends are goats or ghosts. So
yeah, I mean, Alvy, no. Anders, I think you're too solitary.
Hell no.
Yeah,
We have people asking to turn the music
Edic,
down just a tap.
Oh yeah, it's gonna fade off here and not start again. So don't worry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Definitely not Edic.
Yeah, Edic. I think Din, also similar to Anders, doesn't have, besides Chu, a lot of people that she rolls with, unless Sarah, you think I'm wrong there. So Chu might be the only person. Did you tell Bev or the sharks that, so to speak, Bev or the sharks, that you were heading out? Or
believe I told them the last time I talked to them, I put them in like I told them like take shelter at somebody's house. I think they all came to like either a house that I owned or a house that like somebody else had.
Yeah, that's right. You had told them to lay low. Yeah, so you kind of look, it does seem like these lists are not like universal, right? Like people are just putting them up in handwriting editions. It's not like a new flyer goes out printed hot off the presses every morning. So locally, the ones that you're passing and going along, no, you're not seeing any of your own names. And you all deduce, with maybe the exception of Chu, although Chu being a celebrity, it's kind of a weird thing anyway, because besides maybe her manager who might be looking for her, nobody expects to just like, see Chu at the grocery store so much, like in the way that you would notice if she was missing.
I am known for my grocery store appearances.
For some spicy brown mustard.
Necessary.
As Ava licks mustard off of her fingers.
Don't look at me. No, yeah, I think Chu is definitely gonna make a beeline for wherever she told her manager and like sharks, her groupies. I don't know, Ken, Dan, and Itchy Jim to kind of hole up.
Yeah, Ava, go ahead and make 3 different D10 luck rolls for me.
Obviously, these will all
And
be
will you please
great.
make them one at a time?
Yeah,
Oh,
so there's a 1 for you just to
Okay.
start off.
Just to start.
Really
Great.
sorry,
clean.
Ken.
Big Ava roll.
Here's probably another. Okay, here's an 8, flawless.
Dan.
Um, here's another one that's a 4, and that's it, right?
That's correct. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So Chu is going to head towards where she knows Bev, Ken, Dan, and Itchy Jim should be. What else will the crew do?
I think you know, the entire time that we've been out of the heart now, like, with this whole like palpable, air of anxiety, I think like, Edic is naturally a bit of like an anxious, reclusive person to begin with. And so I think he's like probably uniquely attuned to this kind of, oh, everyone is now also on edge. Now I'm very much on edge. Um and so not that it wasn't already at an all-time high, but I think the urge to want to go back to his place is probably really, really stinking high at this moment.
Okay. Yeah. So Edic's going to head back to Byron. Um,
But I
Anders.
do I do want to check in with Saren first because they had a bit of a like a whole ordeal, recently, and yeah, I do want to just make sure that they're doing okay.
Yeah, you turn to talk to Saren, and they're still trailing along with you. They're very like holding, even in the smoke and everything. The sunlight seems to be a whole lot for them. And they're trailing kind of behind Alvi. And as you kind of check in with them, they're like, "Yeah, I can't stay long. This is the edge of kind of what my powers are allowing right now. I need to go recuperate. I took a bit of a blow. Gonna be real with you. But I was just gonna see Alvi back safe wherever Alvi's going. Then I'm gonna head back down to the heart before the season changes down there.
Yes, of course. Is there anything that we can do for you before you dip out?
Nope, I just looking forward to getting into that box that asshole left behind for me that you finally opened up. So gonna
Bless you.
Thank
see
you.
what I can do with that. So
If,
appreciate your help
uh,
already.
of course. But one thing before you leave, what is your take on the this fog of anxiety in the air right now? Do you feel it too?
You see Saren kind of pause and like look around. Um, they they turn their face out away from the spire, and tilt their head back and up. And you see their kind of like crimsony eyes kind of glaze over, almost a like a pearlescent sheen kind of comes over them. And they take a really deep breath in. And as they exhale, they say, "Whatever's happening, things are coming to a head. There's a lot on the wind, and if it's on the wind, that means it's on top of Spire."
Hmm. Okay, will you get home safely, Celine?
Yeah, so then, Edic, are you going to head back to Byron?
Yeah.
Okay. Anders, Din, and Alvi, where are you all headed?
I would say that as soon as we get back to Perch, Din just stalks toward her hovel. Like doesn't say bye to anyone, doesn't like knows what's gonna, where to meet tomorrow and stuff, but just goes to the, home And, one of Bin's defining characteristics is that like she learned about these goats with hands and like is super obsessed with them now. And I think that probably Din doesn't have a very good emotional vocabulary. But now she has this deep phobia of demons. And so the way that she is trying to understand that is she is going through all of her goat pictures and paintings and sculptures and like little things she has around and just replacing their eyes with like black just circles and smudges and like a black like sun-like figure. It's like very compulsively, just like almost in a meditative state. Like I need to replace all of these with this to try to understand, like to try to overcome this because she's used to being strong and now she feels weak. So that's what she'll be doing.
Sarah, go ahead and roll a resist roll, and you can take we'll just say it's a free domain because you are literally in your home. So you get your D10, your domain D10. If you're proficient in resist, you get that. And then your base D10. And if you have any applicable knacks or anything, you can try and sell me on it.
It's just 3.
Okay, go ahead and roll your 3. Yeah. So as you're doing this, look at something. You kind of get into this like obsessive state. And I was hoping you'd roll high. It's rolling. It's just taking its time. Yeah, you take 3 mind stress.
Yeah.
So that puts your total stress at 4, I believe.
3.
Didn't you have
3
1?
because but I have 1 resistance to mind stress.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so your total is at 3, so we'll roll fallout, and on a 2 or a 1, you take fallout from this.
Okay.
The 6, so you are fine. Yeah, so you kind of if you had rolled high enough, this actually would have been like a blessing as opposed to stress, but unfortunately not quite high enough for that. And then of course I rolled a 3 on a D3, so you took max damage that you could possibly have taken on the roll that you got. Yeah, like this is feeding your anxiety. It is the words of Saren saying like something's wrong on top of Spire, the kind of way that others in your group have sensed demonic activity through smelling sulfur before comes back to you now as something you can't do, but you're like, what if Saren can do that? And what if it's demonic stuff that's going wrong? And the idea of something happening in New Heaven that you need to know about and don't want to know about kind of becomes the focus of your kind of anxious phobia around demonic activity from this kind of meditative, but in a bad way. So we'll say like obsessive or compulsive, like drawing and contemplation on goats and imagery around these things. Anders and Alvi. And I will circle around, I promise, Eddic and Chu. I'm just trying to get a lay of where everyone's going.
I can go.
Yeah, please.
I would probably just try to see if I could get Saren to go with me to my my cool place with my where, so I can tell them about the ghost that I know is there that I can't actually talk with, and that I could maybe ask them questions and bug them.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Saren will follow you and kind of reiterate that they can't stay very long because they need to go recuperate, but that they are happy to come for a little bit and answer a question or two if you have them. So we can circle around to that. And Anders.
Question before I get to the thing I would be doing. As we're walking around and people are bringing up the swan, is anyone talking about an attack on the swan? Or is that, were there any railroad railroad wielding assassins trudging through the streets?
For this, you'll have to go ahead and make an investigation. So let's see, that is the skill investigate, and the domain of low society.
Okay, so that is going to be 2d10. Well, let's hope I don't take stress from this. Oh, god damn it. All right. I just wanted to know.
Just needed to know. The problem is that people are so wound up on the streets right now that these questions, instead of just being taken as like, you're just, some kind of person, maybe a military person, maybe a guard, you actually do get mistaken for a city guard asking questions.
Even in my mortician robes, I'd still be Bertold in this.
You'd still be Bertold. That's a good point.
I mean, they could definitely take it as a slight of,
right.
Oh, what? They're already dead. You're here to bury the people.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that more like, since you're in the, like, people are just like the tension is so high, and I think you don't get what you're looking for. You do get some people pointing you down the street toward where some other morticians are working, and you're going to take stress to your cover as these morticians are called over, and they're kind of like trying to investigate into, like, why are you asking these questions, like, who are you again, kind of thing. So your cover will take stress for this.
I don't know if my cover specifically can take stress. I know I can take cover fallout.
So then it would be like shadow stress.
Okay.
It's rolling. It's just taking its time. 1,
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you take 1 stress to shadow, which does put you. Do you have any resistances there?
I do not. So we're at 7 stress.
Please take Fallout.
I really would love to take Fallout, but yeah, we'll see how we do.
So on a 6 or lower, you are going to take Fallout on this D10 roll. It's a 6.
Thank God. But also poor Bertold, because this might hurt him.
So the thing that triggers the Fallout is this investigation into Bertold. However, the majority of your stress is on blood.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to look at something. And then let me just double check. I'm sorry, I have like 2 books that I need to look through. Yeah. We'll go ahead and take just the trouble Fallout for the cover.
Okay.
You draw attention to your cover through your actions. I think that's literally exactly what we narrated, so it works. Leading someone from the cover's domain, poking their nose where it doesn't belong. And I think that what particularly draws the attention is that you are bloodied. You've got all this blood stress ongoing. You've got these clear injuries, and the questions that start getting asked by this other mortician is all about like, well, where did those injuries come from? And did you get mixed up in the trouble with the guards? And it just makes Bertold think that maybe those kinds of questions, like for having been seen in Perch, for having asked these questions and seen by these people, by these other morticians, is going to make people in New Heaven think that maybe Bertold has some stakes in Perch that could cause conflicts with his religious duty
Yep.
to the mortician sect. So
Sure.
and then what was your question from that? Remind me.
I was just trying to figure out what happened to the people that Waxy had sent up
Oh,
topside.
yes. You don't get anything about that. I think that you do get from the thing that kind of like as the people kind of point you to the morticians, they don't seem willing to talk to you about anything else. And the sense that you get of this is that although the morticians are given a pass through the streets, even in this kind of city guard versus the bound like situation, there is some kind of fear in Perch right now related to the morticians, maybe. You don't know if it's the morticians or something else, but you get this sense of like they don't really want much to do with you in a way that like typically Bertold as this kind of bumbling priest doesn't really get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that said, I am definitely going to be hightailing it back to our meeting house, and I'm going to be staying there and doing a lot of meditation and working with the winter blade until I'm tired and feel like I need to sleep.
Okay. Great. And then okay, so that tells me where everyone's going. So I'm going to circle back to Chew, and then we'll go through Edic, and then Alvi. It will be kind of where we're going next. So Chew, you find the safe house where you've kind of pointed Bev, Ken, Dan, and Itchy Jim. You get there and Bev is there, and she is relieved to see you. She pulls you inside, looks kind of up and down the street, closes the door really fast, and kind of like does this little thing where she's like she maybe wants to give you a hug but doesn't know if like your relationship has gotten to the point where she can give you a hug, but she's been worried about you, so she kind of does like the like
I think she's gonna be like, come on, but like not commit. She's gonna be like
one of those like real
yeah, like she can feel the need, but doesn't hug.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so Bev gives you a hug. And oh, thank goodness. Listen, Dan's been missing for days. Ken and Itchy Jim are just beside themselves. You see Bev's husband is here, kind of emerges from deeper in the safe house. Clearly like fled their home with Bev. Has a cup of tea for Bev. Sees that you are here and is like, "Oh, cup of tea for you as well." Um,
I probably don't drink that tea. Sounds iffy.
yeah, and Bev is just like, Ken and Itchy Jim are out looking, but listen, something's going on with Itchy Jim. He hasn't been himself lately. He's been like, I don't know. I think he's doing drugs. That's not like him. That's never been what he's been like before. But Ken is just beside himself, and Dan's missing, and Itchy Jim is just like he'll be out at weird hours. He'll come home and he'll like do strange things or just not come home at all, which I mean, it's not really a home. We're just kind of in this place trying to stay safe from maybe a serial killer. And then he'll just disappear for some time and like come back, like just crash for.
Okay. Calm down. I think I have a good handle on things. If you can call them home, let's call them home. I think what you need right now is some good manager work to get your mind off things. She was a terrible person. I'm sorry. I am tracking down the source, the cause of the source. I obviously need to get back on the track, and I think that everybody could probably use a little bit of pizzazz in their life right now. Um, I need you to work up some posters and some like street whispers that I'm back in town and that I'm going to be meeting with gosh, what's her name?
Molly Duval.
Molly Duval, thank you. That I'm going to be meeting with Molly Duval and trying to get to the bottom of this because I love the people of Perch. And I'm sick of not being able to throw any parties. The next time Itchy Jim comes around, I'm going to need him restrained and put into an empty room. Do they usually come home at night? Will they be here today?
Um, Ken will. Itchy Jim has been hard to keep track of.
Okay. Well, hopefully he comes home, and if he does, I'm gonna need to get him tied up and in an empty room, and I will deal with it at that point. Don't worry, it's a tried and true method. As for Dan, we'll try to find him. Don't worry. What you need to do now is stay safe, market, and get some rope,
Stay safe, market.
and
um,
prepare to kidnap Itchy Jim.
yeah, Bev is like, is it safe? I mean, you had us hiding here because you thought someone was going to try to kill us?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Let's be honest. Looking at things and how they are, I think that it's probably going to be dangerous either way. I'm not saying that you should go out there, but if you maybe have a map with connections and I can drop stuff off on the way, or you can maybe like hire some disposable orphans or something terrible, then I can we can figure something out.
Disposable orphan.
The Chew is
Let's
not a
all
good person. Did we
review.
all forget? Chew is a terrible person uh, whose goal is to murder people who come to her performances.
It's fair.
Yup.
Okay.
So she's just gonna try and like have confidence and like give her manager direction.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah, you have a bond with Bev. So this will lean on that bond. But the bond is going to take stress from this ask. This is not within, because the situation is not normal and you are asking for normal behavior from Bev. And I think that it's not, she's going to do it. It's just that the bond will take stress. And
Okay.
bonds can kind of build stress until they take fallout if you don't do things to relieve stress on bonds.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll stress on the bond.
Mhm. Please don't be high. I plan to fix this when Itchy Jim gets back.
That's 3 to your bond with Bev.
Oh, great. Yeah, awesome. 10 out of 10. What? Okay. Yep. I'm just going to mark that down here.
So does the relationship, like, can it take fallout immediately?
No, bonds, you roll stress at the end of each session. So the bond can continue to build stress and continue to build stress. And then at the end of the session, you roll fallout. And whatever the stress is up to at the end of the session is where the potential of fallout comes from. So if you were to keep asking Bev to do more things, then at the end of the session, it would be more likely that your bond would take fallout.
Bev, I need a foot rub. No, okay. Yeah, and then I think Chu is going to like prepare herself for like the next day and just like take a shower, probably.
Okay. Yeah, so like Chu kind of just goes home and um Chu, when you get home, um you enter into your house and a note has been slipped under your door.
Oh God, I'll roll the
And
stress.
it is um yeah, let's leave it there for a minute. We'll come back to that note before well, before or after we go to break, depending on the next little check-ins. So Edic, you get home, and you pick up the Penrose pendant that you left behind, to be able to go to the heart, and come rushing in. And as you do so, kind of coming down the steps of your home, carrying the armor that he has been working on in your absence is Byron. Oh, took you a while.
Uh, yes, it would appear that the time of in the art is very abstract and wibbly and wobbly. Um, I apparently was gone for a week, and I am most disappointed in myself for not knowing this would happen. I spent the entire time wishing I did not have to be down there and that I could be here, but alas, this is the consequence of my actions, and I am most sorry. I hope that things have been successful with you. I come bearing gifts of hopefully reconciliation. Um,
Well, you
and
know I love gifts. I He kind of sets the armor down, before you can even kind of get through the presentation of the gifts. He sets the armor down and kind of gives you, for Byron, a quite serious like look, concerned look, like just straight to business, which is kind of unlike him. He's kind of playful and sassy sometimes, and especially when gifts are involved, like that's that's his style. And this is somewhat concerning behavior, essentially, from him, to have this kind of seriousness, in this moment. And he kind of leans forward and says, "You were just in the heart, right? Nowhere else."
there was, the trip to the art, there was the stay in the art, and then there was the return. Yes, I was nowhere else. Um, mm,
I a few I think days ago, maybe 2 days ago, yesterday, something happened. I was here, and here is it's different than out there because I can be here, right? This isn't quite Spire the way that out there is Spire, because
you
we've
are
made this
protected
place.
here.
Yes, we've made this place a place I can be and you can be freely, but I can't leave this place the way that you can. So I don't know what happened, but it made me, and he just kind of like shakes, like almost like a dog, like his whole body, and like vibrates, and is like that, but stuck like that. And it was above us. It came from above us, above me.
Do you have a sense how far it was?
No,
Just the direction.
just
Okay.
the direction.
Yes, this tracks. One of these things that happened deep in the art, with Selene, we peered into a crystal and we saw uh, a full-scale demonic incursion of the spires, all in demonic flame, corrupted and cracked. And I have concerns, and what you are saying now is in line with what Selen was saying about the bad winds coming from the top of Spire. I feel something is. I know something is happening in New Haven that I feel must be stopped. I do not know specifically what, but I know that uh, there is a Elfia Juasha that is at the root of all of the Swan killings. I know that there is uh, Molly Duval, who is being blamed for a lot, but I do not know how much of that is appropriately levied on there. Uh, but yes, and then I would continue to kind of just talk about
Okay.
everything that we've learned and that has happened and such.
Yeah, so as you kind of like come to a close recounting all of this, Byron is kind of nodding and listening along, and then um pauses and kind of tilts his head and just smiles at you and is like, I missed you. And then immediately like pulls the armor in front of him and is like, do you want to see what I've done? And yeah, you can. I was just gonna like start going, but
Uh, well, how does it look?
it looks great. It looks like, for one, all of the physical damage that had been done, Byron has repaired quite nicely. And for two, you get the sense that with the physical repairs, Byron has begun to stitch back together some of the occult underpinning that made this armor magical. It's not finished. He had more time than anticipated to work on it because of the extra time that it took you to get out of the heart. And you can make an investigation check, taking a free mastery die from Byron on the armor at this point with the occult domain to kind of get a sense of where it is and what could come next in the repair of it to kind of complete the repairs.
Um, could I also just ask Byron, like, where he left off? Like, what does he think
Yeah,
needs to be done?
sure. And he does tell you that's essentially the mastery die that you're
Okay.
getting. He is stumped at this point. It will take Edic's um problem solving to get you past where the armor is. Byron has done the work that Byron can do. So with all of the information that Byron's given you, you get that
Uh,
mastery die.
this is magnifique. Byron, you have outdone yourself. I can see there is just a little bit more to go, but I
You
think
can.
it is
I
going.
sorry.
But I think we will get there. Um, let me take a closer look. And I'm rolling investigate plus a mastery, and then this is going to be occult.
Or technology, but I think you're proficient in both, so it would be the same. But if you would prefer to roll this as fix rather than investigate, you can.
Okay, I mean I have both.
Okay,
Um,
then yeah, so 4d10.
okay.
And
Okay.
8 is a full success. So you kind of start looking into it and kind of reach out your um, both your technological knowledge as well as your occult knowledge into what type of work. And you see that the problem that Byron has encountered is that Byron has demonic ability at his disposal. But there's some other type of more ordinary drow magics, just the magic of Spire, that is needed here that Byron doesn't do so much, because the spell was originally made by just a drow artisan, or a high elf. I can't remember what we said. Regardless, a normal non-demonic denizen of Spire
Yeah.
originally made this armor, and the spell work that has been lying dormant and was damaged is spell work that will require that kind of magic, not demonic magic, to repair. And yeah, you see kind of the tracings and the arcane things that would need to kind of come together for this armor to be fully repaired. At this point, you are aware that the armor is the magical kind of ability of this armor that the original spell had. Is that the armor, when you're wearing it, not only grants you resistance to blood damage, so a normal kind of armor bonus, but additionally is entirely invisible. So it goes on over your clothing and nobody knows that you're wearing it. So it's fully stealthed armor, and can be activated. The spell can further, you think, be made to be activated to assist the person to be stealthy and unseen above and beyond the armor itself being invisible. So with the spell, and you can essentially trigger an additional spell condition on the armor to make yourself harder to see, not just the armor hard to see. You also get the sense, Edic, that if you wanted to change the spell at this point, to make it into something else, make some other magical effect, you could probably do so. It will be harder to do. You would be rolling at difficulty when you do eventually attempt that if you wanted to change the spell.
So, I have a question. One of my refreshes is have someone follow orders even when they would rather not. Does this count as a refresh for me?
Yeah, this counts as a refresh.
Okay. Is that a D6?
Um, I feel like Byron doing what you ask him to do because he's bored. It's kind of the lowest hanging fruit of following orders. So we're going to say a D3.
Okay. Okay. What? Okay.
3. Hey.
I looked up and saw 21 and I'm like, the hell?
It's a crazy D3 roll right there.
Well, now I'm down to 1 total stress. So A.
Hey.
Um yeah, okay, that's awesome. When we get our next advance,
Which you will
I
this session, yes. So just so you know, coming out of the heart definitely advances. I just forgot to tell you ahead of this, and wanted to get through the fallout of the bad rolls from the heart. So
well, that's perfect, because that's exactly in line with what I was hoping to do with this armor, from the get-go. Um, and then we can act this one out. I very much feel that the spell in contained in the armor we could possibly use this. However, I think that spell would be much more adept if it were for you. And I think there is, if I worked on it a little bit, perhaps I could make this suit of armor your next host. And I long for you that is something you can reside in a more physical way, outside of our abode.
uh, this is the GM responding. Very interesting. I yeah, let's ponder that one. And you can tell me a little bit more about like how you want to make that work.
one of my advances is to make a new eidolon. So
Mm, cool. All right. Yeah, great. Let's go to break. Alvi will come back to you immediately after the break to kind of settle up your talk with Saren, and then we'll check in with Chu and the note that has been slipped under Chu's door, and go from there. So, thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you in about 10 minutes. So by my clock, that'll be around 8:05, we'll say. Around 8:05 Mountain Time. There's the dog getting excited. And yeah, we'll see you in 10 minutes. Thanks, everybody.
woohoo, manage your fluids.
Hey, it's me. I couldn't click the unmute button fast enough. I just kept clicking around it. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Spire. It's me, your GM, Elise. Yeah, we're gonna jump back into things with checking in with Alvi and Saren, who have made their way back to Alvi's little enclave in the Vermicene Vault. Yeah,
Can't get my hair out of my face. It's
I
fine.
suggest using your hands.
I did so many times and it just kept falling in my face. This is for you. Oh my gosh, can I just tell you really quickly that I sent a message in my lost group and I was like, hey, good luck. And I sent the little crossed fingers, but for a hot second I thought that I sent like double middle fingers. It's
Oh,
like
no.
we're thinking of you. And so just like, and then somebody said it reminded them of like old people that think LOL means lots of love. It's like, sorry, your uncle died, lol.
Lol.
Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, no, I mean it's you. You're up. Saren has
Oh,
followed
yeah.
you to your little place in the Vermicene.
Do you want to see all my things? I have so many things here. I mean, I have lots of. There's a ghost here somewhere. I know that there's a ghost.
There's
Her
probably
name
there's
is.
probably a lot of ghosts.
I was told there was only one. Is that their name is Dissa? So you can say hi to Dissa.
Hi, Dissa.
Actually, there might be more, but I was only really told about Dissa, so I don't really know a whole lot more. I can't speak with them, but Berthold can, and so maybe when he comes back sometime, then
you see Saren's eyes again take that kind of like pearlescent sheen. And they look around your room and are you in like the main office like area? Like
sure.
okay. And they're like, "Oh, there's definitely one that's just screaming in a book, maybe. It's just doing that."
Do you want to ask it if it's okay? Does it need anything? Should I get it some treats or some? What does it need? Are
Saren's
there like ghost oats or something that they could eat, or
ghost oats? This is Saren's like, no, I think it's just having ghost feelings. Just it
just
seems
constantly, always? That makes me
it seems
sad.
content in its screams. It's just happy and it's okay. Also, Dissa talks a lot. And like
What is
Saren
Hey.
Saren turns and has like half of a conversation. You just listen as like just a lot of like, no, no.
I have to
Yep.
listen to Saren, who is
Yeah.
the non-verbose one of the.
Yeah. At the end of it, Saren turns to you and is just like, they're telling me a lot about some research that they've been doing. It seems like not relevant, to be honest. Laughing.
Not relevant to you or not relevant to me? Because I think research is relevant in all cases. What is it? What is it? What is it?
Alvi, I have to be real with you. I've got the energy for like a little bit of time. Is this what you want me to spend it on?
Well, you could tell me everything that you already know about me and why you know it and how you already know me and I don't know you. Here's the energy for that.
I don't have that to tell you. I can't. It's not about energy. It's about, oh, you think so linearly. Remember this part of it where it's like
Time works usually in like a linear fashion, as far as I understand it.
Yeah.
Depending on where you are, I guess. I mean, we just
Okay. Maybe this will help. I think this is. Have you ever heard of dust wardens?
Yes.
Okay. We don't. Alvi, you know this, and so I'm gonna tell you because you know it. But I think maybe this is how you find out. That's what I am. I can't. Tyler. Sorry, just watching you react to things cracks me up every time.
Tyler, as the person who knows everything about Spire, is just like, wow.
What?
I know my lore.
It's complicated. It's really complicated. And things are not normal for me. That's just it. That's just the bottom line. Anything that seems normal to you, just don't apply that logic. Linear happens to most people. I grant you that. But, okay, once upon a time, Saren was a Vermissian sage just like you. And
I know, I
then,
found your writings and it,
yeah, and all that stuff that I did, all that travel that I made possible throughout the Vermissian, it took me to depths into the heart that I did not know existed. And I'm not that person anymore. I'm just not her. She's gone. And that's
do I know you more as that person, or do I know you
no,
more as
we
this
never met
person?
as that person.
Okay, good, then fuck them.
Saren does just kind of like just disarmed by this, like, okay, good, well, fuck that person. Just kind of gives like a fond like laugh, and like kind of leans forward and like smiles at you and is just like, yeah, I mean, she was famous, I guess. People like you, Alvi, and Edik both know of that Saren, right? Which is why finding her tunnels through the Vermissian was like such an impressive thing. But they go on to say that whole thing, the tunnels, like to make that happen, I changed something about myself fundamentally. And since then, nothing is linear or normal. And I really, whatever happened to me when we saw that vision in the crystal ball, that
Right? Do I need to fix you more? I have the rat
No.
again. Do you want to sleep with the rat again?
God, I forgot about the rat. I mean,
Sven
not
is ready
entirely,
if you
but
need
Sven,
it.
yeah, just if you fall asleep with Sven, just don't forget. No, that's not. I can't be fixed further. The fixing that you did was all you could do for what is normal about me. The rest of the fixing needs to be fixed in a not normal way from not normal means, and I can't do that here. I need to be, and they point kind of generally down. I need to be there for that to happen, because as you can see, and like they brush on their shoulders and dust is not falling off of them, which is from what little you know of Saren so far. This is the first time you've ever encountered that happening. Not normal, really weird, actually. So
Okay, so you should leave soon. I agree that you should leave soon, but when will I see you again?
Alvi.
Have I already seen you again? Do you remember when I saw you again? That maybe
Tyler frozen. Is this happening? Hey, Tyler, you're
Tyler is
frozen.
frozen,
Just
yes.
FYI, if you're talking,
or
we
just
can't hear you
very
either.
still.
Yeah.
No, Tyler just messaged general chat. His computer's down. He'll be back soon.
Okay.
Oh no, poor
Thank you for
Tyler.
looking at that for me. They're just laughing again, that kind of helpless fond laugh, and they're like, it's just that I just finished explaining that like linear is just impossible, and then you're like, but when? And then that's like asking me to like
Yes,
pick
but
a date out of time and be like, this is the
No,
time.
but will it be long? You don't have to know an exact date, but is it years? Is it days? Is it a week? Is it
It's I don't know.
How can I find you again?
And you remember that note that was left for you, the kind of footprints in the dust, from a long, long time ago. The very first thing that we kind of talked about with Alvi was this little teaser, this little thing that came from that, and they're like, this I can tell you. Lola's got the goods. You um between Lola and the cats, there's this whole system worked out, and I might just need to have a word with Lola. And you see Saren turns into the main part of the Vermisian and just makes the loudest goat noise you've heard. It's just this loud goat sound echoes down the halls, and not too long after that, you hear again many hooves stepping, but only Lola appears in the doorway, and the show goat, and Saren kind of stops to have this little conversation with Lola, and a lot of it's like half in just like normal common English, whatever you speak in Spire, and then like half of it is also just these weird like goat sounds, and Lola just kind of like does a lot of kind of nodding, does some like other just little bits and pieces of like interacting with, and after this ends, Lola looks around Saren at you, and gives you a thumbs up, um and
And I just
yep. And then Saren turns back to you and is like, all right, I think this is it. This is the time. If you want to test it out, feel free to test it out. You can send me notes with Lola.
oh, I will.
Yeah, and Saren like pats their little notebook, which has some letters from you stuffed in it, and is like, no doubt.
Oh, so what do we do when we're done? Do we handshake? Do we hug? Do we high five?
uh,
Do we solemnly say goodbye?
Saren is so out of their depth. They kind of pause and look at you, and they're like, you're wearing your little hat that Saren gave you, and they ask, well, Alvi, what do you want to do?
I mean, it's been a while. Maybe a hug?
Let's
Like
hug.
the group doesn't really hug much, and
I have it on great authority. I'm a very good hugger. And they open their
okay.
arms and kind of step into you and let yep. And yeah, they're a great hugger. Yeah.
Nice. Alvi holds it for a little too long.
Saren doesn't seem to think that this is too long at all.
Okay, go, and I'll start writing notes as soon as you leave.
Okay. I'll see you,
Get
some
better.
other time. Thank you.
Send me notes if you need help getting better, and if the better isn't getting better enough, because then I can try and do research and try to help you get better more, because you need to make sure
Okay,
you get
yeah,
fully better.
yes. And Dissa said that she's really happy with the books that you've been leaving out for her. So good job. And they head out.
And I immediately get a pen and paper and start writing a note.
Okay. Excellent. Yes. Chu, you oh, you're muted on Discord. You're talking to us.
I'm Anders Stolkin now.
Oh,
I have
that's true. Well, I'll talk to the little pink boombox.
yeah, it'll try to talk back.
Okay, all right. You can voice the little pink boombox.
I don't want to do that. I'll just narrate what it's saying because I feel
Okay.
like it's, disrespectful.
Yeah, so Chu, as you go into your home, you open the door and you see this note on the ground, and you pick it up, and the paper is very high quality. There is a seal, a wax seal melted on, stamped with a beautiful stylized bird, a swan. And you open it up, and it is not from Callisto, it is from his sister Io. And the note is quite brief overall. I can kind of like I meant to do this on break and then I didn't like actually put it in the thing because I got distracted doing other things. So I'm sorry. But the note is just like a very brief note in beautiful calligraphy, signed by EO. And it says the train. I was trying to think what word EO would use here.
Bussin'. Sorry.
Bus.
So
What is okay? I don't know what that
so
means. I'm
sorry
not
about
gonna Google it.
it.
No, I think that it's a much more well, I'm going to say the word that she picks is, and you guys can help me kind of find one here maybe. Like it's derogatory towards people who are kind of outside the mainstream.
Yeah. The
Sam's like ready.
hipster.
Weirdo.
Nerds.
Yeah, it's along what, Sarah?
The nerds.
Yeah, it's kind of
The
along like nerds or weirdo, but I think
Neardo.
yeah.
the boombox has suggested the sound of 10,000 screaming babies.
Oh.
Not sure what it means,
Great.
but that's
Wow.
what it's putting out there.
Matt's suggesting
You
shitheads.
beat Nick.
I thought like it's God, what's I said it like 10 seconds ago and I lost it, but
Let me
hipsters. Yeah.
Hipster, yeah.
Bougie.
It's people outside of like the
Yeah, but like hipster it's not the vibe I'm going for.
Could it be outcasts or?
Yeah, it's oh god, why is this See, what's funny is like again,
theater kids.
yeah, the dorky theater kids is much more the vibe we're going for of
So,
not like
like
hipster,
dweeb?
but yeah, like dweebs. Okay, we'll just say
Or like
the train
freaks, if
freaks.
you're
Oh
going, like,
yeah, let's go
really-
with freaks. I think that's EO's style is to be a little bit more kind of
Yeah.
like rude, straight up, just mean, right? The train freaks. Were an interesting touch.
Mm.
Oh,
And-
I kind of wish Tyler was here for this.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't remember the train assassin, the
The
choo-choo assassin
The
group.
people that were coming after us in the heart, and then Tyler became
As
waxy,
waxy, yeah.
and then like
and then
convinced them to go after the
Callisto.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
to
yeah,
Callisto
yeah.
instead.
Sorry, I'm adding it on Roll20 so that you can actually like hang on to this as well.
Oh yeah, I can read it with my eyes.
That is what one often reads.
Yeah, so the train freaks were an interesting touch.
Y'all remember how this started with my first manager called Briannon Melfern? I don't even remember.
Okay, I'll go ahead and just show to everyone, I think. Can y'all see that on Roll20? Ava, you
hasn't
should
popped
have
up
this
for
in
me.
your thing, but the note is again short. It says the train freaks were an interesting touch. Watch your back, blood for blood, EO.
Nice.
Fun.
I pull out a mirror
Okay.
and watch my back.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I think Chu is like cool, and then now she's maybe a little bit more worried about Itchy Jim and Ken. Ken. Two of the
Dan is
sharks.
the one who is missing. Ken is
You know what? She's worried about all of them and the manager and kind of the manager's husband, but not as much.
okay.
I think she's probably just gonna be like cool and like toss it in like a pile of hate mail and just go to sleep.
Just a pile of hate mail. Just one more. Add it to the pile.
Add it to the pile, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this would
It's
be
in the fireplace, but it's not on fire, right? Like it's there when she needs it.
Gotcha. Kindling for the next time she lights the fire. Yeah, so I presume Tyler is still not able to join, so we will see what Anders was up to. But Sam, if you want to do you want to have Edic give Byron his gift.
Yes. So this is like after I've examined, but not before we've done but before we've actually done, the final procedure or whatever, because we need to take our advance first. So well, this is perfect, and I do not feel that what I acquired could possibly measure up, but I did have the most interesting encounter with another artist in one of the kind of shopping districts of the art, and we exchanged works, and from this I have acquired a nose ring for you. It feels like it is very much your style, and very hot, if I must say. I think it is very hot.
Yeah, Byron immediately just like does Byron already have like a piercing into which to insert this, or would this involve Byron?
I think he would need to do it, but also I don't think it would phase him.
No, I was gonna say it absolutely does not phase him. You see Byron just kind of like use a claw to like self pierce, like no problem. There's not even that much blood or anything. Like it kind of bleeds for a second, but like demons are weird. Who knows? They don't really belong here, and like just kind of like pulls on it to make it wide enough to fit it. Because it's a rather large piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
And then hooks it in.
Yes, it is quite bulbous. Yes. Up. Oh,
No, that
hooray!
We did it.
Tyler's back. We
came
heard a
back
little bit
to-
about the railroad things, but
Great. All I came back to was something about something being bulbous. So
Yeah,
That's
there's a
fire.
note.
The spire is bulbous.
You can
sure.
I think the note should be in everyone's journal. Let me check.
I don't. Is it a note to chew?
no, that's an old one.
No, that's old.
Okay, I updated
note
it.
from
So it's
Leo.
in
There we go.
everybody's. So Tyler,
Okay.
you can read that note was under Choose Door.
Great. Awesome.
Okay. So yeah, just inserts it and is like kind of like models it for you, gives you like some like sultry looks, like does the, very
Oh,
like face modeling. I don't know what the word is, like poses, I guess, like does some poses for you.
Headshots
Yeah, as if doing glamour shots. Tyler's
or
like, great.
thirst traps.
Yes, definitely along the lines. Byron is rocking this for the sake of the thirst trap, for sure.
oh, and let me tell you, it is working very, very much. And then cut to black. Everyone, cut to black.
Quick, do it!
About to have some demon fucking. Sorry, we were being demure and not so explicit. I'm terrible.
Now everybody needs to leave. Rachel, you were the one who took it there.
Welcome, our new Twitch mod.
That's me.
The first
Mod
word
girl.
that you
Everybody in the
moderate.
Twitch chat, go ahead and make Rachel's first night as a mod really great by putting demon fucking in the chat and seeing how
Yeah, give me some things to approve about demon fucking, everybody. Let me flex these Twitch mod fingers.
this is the community we're building. Andy is somewhere out there just like
That was just
cringing.
like, cool. There you go.
Yes, Sarah, yes.
Didn't even get a chance to get it modded.
Yeah, none of these are going through mod.
Oh god. Sorry. Sorry, go away. We did this. We did this. I did this to you. I'm
Oh,
also not
definitely allowing
evil.
that.
Oh my god. Is it just oh my god. Is it
You
just
got to
blowing
do it,
Rated Lena?
Oh,
Well,
thank you. All right, good job. Good job, Matt.
Okay.
I was
All
gonna
right.
deny that one, so
Let's-
that's Sam's fault.
Y'all, I'm sorry that I invited this, but also please don't let's not overstep. We do have a
Sarah,
community
why
kind of
did you bring that up?
Oh boy.
God.
We're talking about demon dick.
Guys,
Koala's demon?
can we please not make
Okay,
this
sorry.
horrible for
Okay.
everybody and try to keep it within the bounds of
Yes. So what did Tyler miss about the railroad stuff?
Yeah, just the note from EO. We did spend a lot of the time you were gone trying to decide what word EO would use to describe them before settling on freaks.
Oh
So-
God.
Feels
Matt,
right.
please.
Okay. So we and then I think you missed some of Alvita and Theron. Did you miss the end of Alvy?
I missed the
Theron's-
tail end of
Okay.
that. Yes.
Okay.
We hugged
So-
each other.
Yes, it was mostly then Lena, I am legitimately very sorry that I inflicted this upon you. So that was my bad and I will not do it to you again. This is why you don't you don't
Let us
invite
on
chaos.
TV.
Put us on TV. Okay. So, Anders, that you were just going to kind of like look at the sword and pass out, right? And then it would be was there anything else before we kind of reconvene the next day?
No. I was basically going to be doing a bit of, conspiracy theory corkboard of kind of what we know in prep for the meeting tomorrow, and then I was going to spend a lot of time with the sword and with all of my Elfir gear that I had purchased, I guess, well over a week ago at this point.
Okay. Yeah. Then I think yeah, sorry, Lena, again. I think that like Bertold has gotten what Bertold can get out of the sword.
Yep.
So I think it will have to be a morning. Is Anders does Anders revert to Anders in the morning or is
Not quite yet.
Okay.
It's we're still hanging out here as Bertold.
Okay.
Until the others arrive.
I just looked at chat. I need to not. I did do this and I should suffer the consequences. But unfortunately, I'm not the one suffering and now I feel like I have done a bad thing. Okay.
Cancel the stream.
Cancel. Everybody go home, go to sleep. All right. So y'all
We're all home. Where do you think we are?
you had set up we'll say arranged a time to reconvene. Anybody who had blood injuries overnight can roll for refreshing those if you would do anything to tend to them. If you were going to leave them alone, then you can keep the blood stress, but if you want to tend to them, you can as well overnight.
I will say that Chu probably wants to get up early to go check on the manager and see if they've captured a GGM yet.
Captured. Yeah, you circle around to the safe house. And Bev is up and getting ready for the day. She's going to hit the streets to start marketing stuff for you today for some kind of new event. Immediately just launches into some questions for you about like what kind of event, what kind of venue, like where kind of crowd do you want, like where do we want to have it, like I have these 3 venues in mind. And then you see Ken kind of appear. Man, who is Ken in the one shot?
I believe Sarah was Ken, right? because I was Dan.
Yeah.
Sarah, do you
Yeah.
feel like reprising Ken?
Get that voice out.
Yeah. Yeah. What does
God, I'd love
you don't have to. I realize I'm putting you on the spot, but what if you want to, what would
It is a
Ken
broken Ken, a Ken
Yes,
without
this is
Itchy Jim
a
and
Ken
without Dan.
whose Dan is missing and whose Itchy Jim is clearly sucked up into
off the deep end.
into drugs Drek right now.
I'm devastated. This is terrible. I have no will to live
Oh my god.
except for to do gymnastics and ultimate frisbee off the side of Spire.
Gymnastics.
Powerful words. I think that don't worry, we're gonna press hold on getting a venue. I just want to get the word out that I'm going to be personally trying to get to the bottom of this by confronting the Blood Witch. I don't think that I don't think you have to worry as much about a venue right now. That may be in the long run. So if you want to try and like plan for that later, I leave it in your hands at your pace to do that, because things are kind of dangerous right now. But I just want like the community at large, Perch, to know that Chew is back and it will be safe once again for them to go to parties once I get to the bottom of this. And she's going to pull out a bag of like really shitty, stale, like pastries that she like paid the minimum amount for. And be like, and this is for you, pal. No ultimate frisbeeing off the side of the whatever freeway Spire tower yet. Do we have Itchy Jim? Has he dropped by? Do you have him tied up somewhere, or is he not come by yet?
Always says he can't hear you. Sorry.
Nope, that's
At
okay.
least this-
I did make a mistake and have that muted. So it's probably been a minute since you couldn't hear me. Super sorry about that. To recap, Bev was doing marketing stuff and Itchy Jim was with Ken earlier in the night. But sometime during the night while they were looking for Dan, went off with other associates that I think Ken would have a very bad vibe from.
Do you
Okay.
know where they went, Ken?
I don't like you hanging out with those boys, Itchy Jim.
Yeah, that would be the vibe if Bev were there.
Sorry, Dave, I interrupted.
No, you're good. Do we know where they went to go hang out? Like how to contact them or anything?
Yeah, I think Ken would probably have a sense that like even better than Bev, since Ken's out there in the night doing stuff with Itchy Jim, like how likely and where he might be, and certainly kind of would be able to direct you roughly in the or also like say like I could hit up, sorry Sarah, I know, like I was like yeah you can be Ken, and then I was like you wouldn't be able to just make this stuff up.
I can do the antics.
Yes. But yeah, like would be able to kind of like have a few guesses of like where I've found Itchy Jim before. I might find him again. There's a few places as well that are like kind of known, like hovels where people high on Drek hang out together sometimes. It's not usually a good time because Drek does kind of make people sick and violent sometimes. So
I think that Chu is going to be like, cool. thanks. She's gonna kind of get the list down, and she's gonna be like, y'all sit tight and stay safe. When you have a bit and you can go out in like groups and keep each other safe. Get the word out that I'm back and that I'm gonna be talking with that witch lady and tease maybe a new performance, but don't sweat it too much. And you don't have to get a venue or anything. I just want people to know that I'm not gone. And enjoy the I don't know what those are, like almond pastry, almond sand pastries. And then Chu is probably going to head to, I guess, where the group decided to meet up at the ministry headquarters, or well, the ministry like safe house or whatever, meeting room, conference area.
Want to finish out what Ken did. He said, I love these almond remnants. I will tell everyone Chu is back. And he just backflips out of the scene.
Hell yeah, Ken.
I
Get
like that
going.
this is sad, Ken.
Yeah.
I'm devastated.
He reminds me of the two guys in Gravity Falls, the two like rocker dudes that
Oh,
Mabel
yeah.
summons. Yeah,
Haven't seen
Very
that.
much.
But I've heard that I would like it.
you would.
It's good. It's good shit.
All right. Yeah. So after Chu checks in the morning with Bev, the rest of you gather, and after a little, not too long, Chu arrives as well, and the group is gathered.
Nice to see everybody here. She was going to grab a chair and just like gently lay it down, and she's like, I'm too busy to kill this chair, but just assume.
Assume the chair is dead.
Yeah. I have some leads for us. The priority, I think, is to contact this Blood Witch lady. Does anybody disagree? I kind of have an in with her, and I have a few places that we should probably hit up. I need to tie down a shark. It's related.
We had an idea. Things have gotten very bad around here. That is pretty plain to see. So we thought we should probably take a leap of faith in terms of tact. Certainly we should be looking into this Molly Duval, but I think we should put a bit of pressure on Juasha. I am going to, well, not I, another of us are going to issue a challenge. If that is okay.
Yeah, good idea. We should split the party up is what we should do.
What kind of challenge do you think would be an appealing offer to Juasha?
I hold up the winter sword.
An honor duel, perhaps. It is a long shot, but worst comes to worst, I would fight this one. That
Would she
not.
would she care about fighting a drow?
Oh, I wouldn't be a drow.
You could be a not drow?
I would be an Elfir, yes.
She was going to laugh for a moment and be like, huh, I remember the last time someone in this party said it was a long shot. Haven't seen him in a while. Hope he's doing well.
Oh no.
Who?
Rauka.
Oh. He's fine, I would guess. Yes, I'm just you don't need to worry. He's fine,
Yeah.
I'm sure. He's very. Just move on.
But if it comes to killing the swan, I mean, hey, I'm all for that.
I can kill this one.
I think we all could kill the swan. He's kind of a baby.
I could try and become the swan, depending on when I killed.
Now that, and then we
him.
could perform together.
Sure, sure. I'm sure that is something I would be interested in if I were the swan. Um,
Probably not.
so Anders and I, regardless, are probably going to need to take a long-needed uh, step away from uh, the torchlight, so to speak. Um, I was just, asking some very basic questions, and I was asked why my robes were so, bloody. I think some people might think I was involved in some of the violence that occurred here not too
But
long ago, I'm
but
assuming.
Bertold, you are a mortician. You deal with the blood. Why is this not commonplace? No?
Uh, it looked fresh. I normally don't deal with the fresh blood. Um,
Hmm.
I don't, yeah, I don't like when people stare at me, so I'm going to just,
And Bertold just starts, pacing back and forth. And he was already wearing a lot of the Elfir robes when he came in. And I'm going to be doing the single Knight's Grace here. So this is going to be a wonderful little d6 of stress. Do you want me to roll that, or do you want to, Elise?
Oh, you go ahead.
Great. And just, as we're doing this, you're seeing Bertold's tattoos fade away. 3. I will take 3. That is not 6. I am okay with that.
Where does that put you overall on stress?
Depending on where it goes, I will most likely be at 5.
Okay, because you did refresh after your fallout, right? You
Yes.
took away the. Okay. And where were you at? Because I didn't get your refreshed level.
Yeah, so right now I am at it would be 4, and then I did yeah, so I'm at 2 stress. I have 1 to mind and 1 to shadow.
Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be let's put 2 to mind and 1 to blood here.
Okay. And I take it, since this is probably going to be internal, my armor would not protect against this.
Right. These are, yes, your internal body, not so. So does that put you at 5 total stress?
That'll put me at 5 total, yep.
You want to go ahead and roll that fallout die while I make this note?
Sure.
A
That is a
9.
9.
All right. You are safe from fallout. And who are you?
Yeah, so the mask is gonna go on, and you can see the very silvery, pale bluish eyes of Bertold go to like a very crimson red behind the mask, and this now Elfir sits down at the table.
Does the whole table get like immediately just a little bit uncomfortable?
Oh, definitely. It is not comfortable to be around Alfir. Even knowing it's Anders. Did we lose Tyler again, though? Oh, you're back.
No,
No.
I'm here. Yes.
Just had a still face.
Yeah, the.
Oh,
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
when shall we go?
And like straightens up because like just gotta be proper for them.
Yeah, Eric does the same.
What's your
before
name? Sorry.
I am Lord Dracul Divines in Entrails. It is
Damn.
Dracul Divines
So good.
in Entrails.
Do you really like entrails? Is that why you're named that?
It is
Can we
how I
still be nice?
learn.
You're technically like Anders, right? So I can still be okay with you. We're still cool. We're like friends, basically.
Just, there's just a very slight head cock and no response.
Yeah, we're friends, basically.
Chew like very Chew like, oh gosh. She doesn't like Elfier. Heck. I think that Chew is going to kind of glare at you and then be like, I have some things that I need to pick up along the way. Not sure where they are, but can we do that first? Are we going as a group or?
I refuse to be around blood witches at all
Not
because
going to a blood witch first.
Okay. I don't want to be involved with that. I think that if that's what you need to do, that is your choice. But if I see a blood witch, I will probably feel inclined to try and kill it.
I know the feeling, and I kind of look at, and I'm just gonna call you Entrails because that's all I can remember.
I would also like to mention that last night when I returned to my home and spoke with Spiring, he mentioned that yesterday, I guess 2 days ago at this point, it has been another day, there was something that happened up at the top of Spire that impacted him within my own home. He had tremors, had a freezing position, and it was very concerning for him that something was able to impact him within my very protected house.
Like what we saw? Is that
In
starting?
the crystal, I mentioned what we saw, but this was not that happening in the moment.
He felt it coming from up higher.
Yes, and this tracks with what Selin said about the bad winds from the top.
He probably should go to New Haven.
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
It is New Heaven, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I was like, wait, hold on.
I wrote down Haven because I live near there, so.
Yeah.
By near there, I mean like an hour away, but.
Yes, and I have something I must take care of before we depart, but it will provide us with a little bit more how do you say backup?
So you want to go to Uptown?
I mean, it seems like we all are needing to go up, right?
No, I need to go
Lord
talk to the Blood
Entrails?
Witch.
I mean, is the Blood Witch like?
Do we know where she is?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
But well, I mean, we know that it's probable that it is probable that Josh as a high elf must be up top, and if that is where Lord Dracul Divine Zinentrails needs to go, then it is perhaps where we should start our search.
Wasn't the whole thing around the Blood Witch over the table that she was like the enemy of the big bad person that we're trying to look at, and so we were going to get in contact with them to pit them against each other because they
I think
were
that
like the one
was-
who could help us the most?
Yeah, I think that was part of the
It
plan.
seems like they're already pretty against each other.
Well, it seems
Yeah.
like
Well,
the
we've
what's her
known
fuck
that, but we're
Well,
trying to
is
ally.
framing the. Yeah, I think we need to talk to the Blood Witch because right now she's being framed, and we need to try and
yeah.
get in
And
on
that's
that.
why she was putting out the message that she's going to go talk to the Blood Witch in hopes that like it helps it gets to the Blood Witch at some point and either comes back or that she can hunt down where the Blood Witch is while she's getting Itchy Gem. Or maybe
Yeah.
the group hunts down where the Blood Witch is while Shu gets Itchy Gem and then Shu goes to confront the Blood Witch.
Rachel thinks this is a good idea. Alvi won't have anything to do with Blood Witches. Like they're legitimately like the
Yeah.
antithesis of the apiarists.
Because then once we get her, she doesn't have to be on our side. We just have to like let her in on like our plan, or maybe get in on her plan. Then we can go up Spire, and we'll have a pretty powerful ally to help us like murder and do things without getting like jumped. I think.
Is our goal here to show to Molly Duval that we are a robust fighting force that we could overtake Juasha?
Um,
A robust fighting force. I hope
You may
that
tell
is
her
obvious.
that you have allied yourselves with a very powerful Elfir.
oh God, I don't think we want to do that.
This is enough.
Chu produces a couple vials of blood, and she's like, I may have snagged these from your lover Bean, Alfie. They seem to be pretty rare blood. And Alfie, sorry. They seem to be pretty rare blood. And I think that they'll get us through the door. My plan in general is that it seems like this person thing, whatever, I don't blood a bit person. They seem pretty nice. I mean, I stood that one up and they were pretty honest with
They're
me.
not. They're literally the worst thing that could ever exist in the world. And
Yeah, okay. Well, so my plan is to talk to them. It seems like they want to like not have anything to do with this. If I'm being like, they haven't been around. They haven't been making any big moves for years. So I think if we go and hear them out, I mean, like worst case scenario, we walk away with 2 less vials of blood that weren't even mine like a couple days ago. So, puppy.
Dog cam. Yeah, let's pause the conversation because it's 9 o'clock. So I just have the notes like we have kind of 3 plans of action that are all interrelated around finding Molly, getting Anders as Dracul divines in entrails to Juasha, and Edic's point of there's something happening in New Heaven that seems relevant and needs to be investigated. So I think those are the kind of 3 things that we will pick up on next week in Spire. So yeah, everybody can take their advances. I'm gonna say let's do 2 medium advances for your time in the heart because of the information that you gained and the kind of key elements, as well as the change in terms of deep in the Spire changes you as players, and we as storytellers may never know what came of, but the impact of Saren's injuries and kind of the all of that happening, given Saren's kind of vital role that we barely even have scratched the surface on of in down there. So 2 medium advances. You guys can take the week to kind of decide what you'd like to take. And I believe with those kinds of things, like there's some rules around, like if you want to like take a new domain or whatever it's called, or if so, yeah, talk to me if, like, I don't know, Attic, if or Sam, if like the one that you were thinking of is technically a low advance or something, like those kinds of things. Like, I don't know if it's a medium, just talk to me and we'll work it out. We'll make sure that you get the ones that you want and everything too, since it was all kind of planned around. You had a plan in mind already. Like, totally want to work with you on that. So yeah, and don't forget, you can check not only your class but also the ministry for all of you except Edik, tree, as well as your secondary, the apiarist or the hungry deep, whatever it is that you belong to, besides just your class, to look for possible advances. And if you want to, if you think that there's some reason that you would have access to a new tree of advances that you want to take from, feel free to peruse those and pitch that to me over the week. And next week, we will discuss on stream what all you have picked. So we will get to hear all about your exciting new level up abilities next week. Okay. Once again, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. You can use !Discord to hang out with us all the time, as well as !Donate to find out more about Hope for Haiti. And we hope that you will look into it and see what it's possible to do that we can do to help out. See you tomorrow for Tier Moon Trial, 7 Mountain Time, which I don't convert for you East Coasters, because no more coddling the East Coast. You have to convert your time zone to ours for
9
once.
p.m. Eastern.
And oh yeah, don't forget, you can use thank you, Galway, for putting the merch in there. And remember that if you get one of those beautiful items that Chelsea designed, the proceeds do go to the artist. So okay, let's get some sleep, and yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow or next week or, soon. All right. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Good night.